Hey there, how are you doing today? I got a question from a subscriber asking me what are 5 tips I could give someone preparing to move to South Korea for an English teaching job who quite possibly doesn't have a lot of experience teaching in the past. So here we go. Number 1. While learning Korean is certainly not required for most positions, and you really don't need to know Korean to get around if you're only going to be here for a year, I would say that one of the best things you can do is to learn Hangul. It really only takes about a week to master the written language of Korea, and it makes an incredible difference during your stay. When you go out, while some bus stops and subway stops are in English, as you move away from the metro areas, especially if you get positioned in a rural area, the chances that you'll have a lot of English is going to be really reduced. So being able to read in Hangul the destination that you want to go is incredibly helpful. The other thing, when going out to a menu, going out to a restaurant and being able to read the menu, that's awesome as well. But I've mentioned this a few times in a couple of different videos, and that's over the years. Korea has changed the rules for romanizing English words from the Hangul. And it creates a huge issue because you'll read something and the way that it's pronounced in Hangul is nothing like it's written. So being able to actually say, all right, I want to go here or I need to go here, tremendously helpful. Number 2, there are a lot of social groups, and I would say join the tour groups because a lot of Koreans go on the groups, a lot of expats go on the groups, and they come from all over the world, all over Korea, and you get a great opportunity to mix and mingle and just have a lot of fun, and you can go on some awesome adventures around the country. So make sure you do that. A lot of times they're on Facebook, meetup.com. Fantastic. Number 3, I would say open your mind. Now, this really is probably one of the more serious topics, and that's because Korea has a very small foreign population. I think I read it's somewhere between 1 and 3%. So the general population is 50 million, 48, 49 million. And maybe a million, maybe 2 million of that are foreigners. So when you go out, be prepared that you're going to be the minority, and it's for some people that really is a difficult thing to wrap around. On my normal day, when I go to teach at the university, I will not see another foreigner all day long unless I make it a point to hang out at the office or meet someone for lunch. I will leave my apartment, get on the bus, get on the subway, walk to school, go to my office. Even though I share my office with 2 other professors, we teach at different times. I never see them. I will then go to my classroom, work with my students in class, maybe have some lunch. On the off chance there's another professor at that time having lunch, we'll be able to see each other. I'll go home on the subway, on the bus, and be back home. 9 times out of 10, I won't see another foreigner all day long. If I go to the grocery store, I might see another foreigner who lives in Dongtan, but chances are, on a normal week, I really don't see any foreigners unless I make it a point to go to a bar frequented by foreigners, or if I do some kind of a group where foreigners, we all join the same kind of groups to go out and learn about Korea together. So be prepared for that. I was very fortunate growing up to be bused to the inner city. So before I came to Korea, I had the experience of what it was like to be one of the few white kids in an all-black school. So being here and being a foreigner really wasn't that big of a deal. But I've met some teachers over the past few years that really had a hard time that they really struggled with that. And some actually said, during their vacation time, I want to go someplace where there's no Koreans. And I really thought, if that's how you feel, then why would you ever leave your country to go teach in a foreign country where you are going to be the minority? I never understood that. So open mind, be prepared for being the minority, being someone who really sticks out. Number 4, make it fun in the classroom. Up until this term, up until spring 2012, kids were going to school 6 days a week. 6 days a week. Then doing all their academy work after that. So they were in the classroom a long, long time. It was very common to see kids fall asleep in class, just be so tired from all the work that they had to do to keep up, to be competitive in this society. So make sure that your lessons are fun. Now, this also goes back to you as an instructor, because chances are you're going to be teaching the same lesson time and time and time and time again. And if you've never been an instructor, that can be quite daunting as well. So if you have fun, that means that you'll relay a positive attitude, to have just an enormous amount of energy and just be jazzed about everything you do. Your students, your kids, your college kids, your high school kids, whatever age group you're teaching, they're going to have fun. I teach freshmen here at the university, and the kids go in, they're like, oh, English class. And I get in there and I'm just having a great time. We do our warm-up activities. We do our different lessons. I tell them some stories about how I'm having difficulties with Korean. They relate their stories about what they're having troubles with English. We go over the grammar points. We go over the vocabulary. We talk about differences between how English would phrase something versus Korean would phrase something, and we just have a really good time. And then, we go have a coffee afterwards. It's fantastic. So make your lessons fun, get to know your students, have a good time. And the last thing I would say is take the job seriously. You're being brought over here to teach English, and sometimes the bar is quite low for what is expected of you, but that doesn't mean you have to lower your personal standards to that level. I would say always try to exceed. English education is tough. It really is. And sometimes you don't have the best resources. So take a look at what you have and just do the best you can and have fun. That's what I'd say. That's a great question. If you have a question, be sure to leave it in the comments or send me a message at podcast@shiranger.com, or just tweet it to me. You never know. I may do a video, I may put it in the podcast, or both. Have a great day.